Bodies, coming at you with the top 10 video. I was going to have a really nice backdrop and some really cool things here on the video, but I'm still in the process of getting the right software and the right studio set up. And I promised you the video on Monday, so we're going to go ahead and do the video. But just kindly note that everything is going to change hopefully by the next set of videos. So let's get started. First thing I want to share with you, my blood pressure. I've been posting some videos of the blood pressure cuff on Instagram, so you might want to go check it out. But I wanted to share that my blood pressure has gone from about 250 over 190. I know it was 180 over something before also, but it was extremely high, so much dangerously high that they would probably throw me in the hospital if they saw that. But now I am on the 130, 127, 130, 133, over 89, 90 kind of range. And my pulse is about steady at about anywhere from 75 to 81. So very, very, very excited about that. Like I said, the health benefits are so much better than the weight loss. It's hard to tell because I know the weight loss was a little bit drastic, but there's so many health changes, and the health changes don't just affect you, it affects everybody in your life. So let's get started on our top 10, yeah? Okay, I backed up a little so you could see everything in case I do want to add some stuff into the video. But step number 1 is cut your carbs to 20 grams or less in a day. So the way you figure up your carbs is you're going to take the carb count in the food, subtract the fiber, and that gives you the total net carbs in that food. So most importantly, you have to cut those carbs, because remember from my last video, we have to lower that insulin as best we can. Okay, so low insulin, so I know what you're thinking. What about my pasta, my rice? That's healthy for me, right? Well, here's my new saying, and I'm going to say this probably a lot in the videos. Just because it's healthy for you doesn't mean it's healthy for you. Do you understand that? So step number 2 is we have to cut all refined and processed foods. So that takes out all of the carbs, breads, the wheats, the gluten, everything, you name it. Can you have a bagel? No. Can you have a sandwich? No. No bread. Remember, no bread. Can you have fast food from your favorite places? Oh, you can't have it. So just take it off the list. Okay, I know you're probably thinking, oh no, she's cutting everything. What am I going to eat? But we'll get into that too, because I'm telling you, if you guys have looked at the food that I've posted on Instagram, it's extremely healthy and it's so good, because you're going to get a lot of other good stuff too. So step number 2 is cut the processed food and all of those refined carbs. Okay, so go ahead and write that down. Okay, I realize I just gave you guys 2 big oohs right together, so I'm going to give you one that you're probably going to enjoy. I did not do any long, lengthy, strenuous exercise on this. I'm going to be honest with you. Probably for the first couple weeks, I walked maybe a total of 6 days worth, and it was 30 minutes. And I didn't break a sweat. I went really slow. I listened to classical music, because one thing that you need to understand, everything is controlled by your hormones. So if you are stressed out, you're producing a lot of cortisol, the last thing you need to do beginning on this is to start out doing an hour or 2 in the gym. You're going to get nowhere, because cortisol stores fat. So you have to de-stress. So I walked maybe a total of 6 days just to get myself in a steady pace, and I didn't exercise again until maybe 3 months later. I did a little bit of weight training, and I noticed that I was stalling, so I stopped. So that's about the extent of my weightlifting or my exercise program on this whole entire thing. So it is possible to lose the weight without exercise, especially if you're gaining weight due to stress. And I don't know about you, but if you're a parent, if you work long hours, if you have a lot of things going on, if you have other people you're tending to, stress is a humongous factor in all of this. So the last thing you want to do is start working out and having to go to the gym, and you're overexerting yourself, and then you notice, hey, I'm eating right, I'm not losing anything. This is kind of the way that weight loss programs work now. You see a ton of people going to the gym, and they probably need to lose weight. You can tell that they're trying to get their life in order, but they keep going, and they might be there an hour or 2 hours working themselves into a dead sweat where they look like they're getting ready to pass out, and nothing's happening. And generally what happens, if you're like me, I give up. I mean, especially after trying it for a month, and I might lose 5 pounds in the month. It just doesn't work because your body is working against itself. You are totally setting your stress level extremely high. So you have to get that stress level down before you can start doing that healthy workout program, which is what I'm excited about starting soon. So here we go. So we're going to hopefully have some of this pretty soon. So anyway, so step number 3 is just chill on the strenuous exercise. I would tell you, if you wanted to do something, you are welcome to do walking, but nothing hectic. None of this power walking or anything like that. You've got to get these stress levels and this cortisol down. So walk, go outside, pray to God, communicate with them, have your devotion outside, but don't stress yourself out over the exercise. You don't have to. Not now, anyway, okay? So step number 3, no strenuous exercise. Okay, step number 4, make sleep a priority. And I know this is hard for a lot of us because we have TV shows we want to watch. We maybe can't get in the bed as quickly as others. Maybe our job keeps us from being able to sleep at a certain time, but you really need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And here's why. When you sleep, and especially the first 4 hours or so, when you do it by 10 or 10:30 at night, that's when your body repairs, because this is not about weight loss. This is about healing your body. There are so many things that happen internally in your body when you're in those REM cycles. So right now, if you're having trouble sleeping, if you have sleep apnea, if you have insomnia, if you're waking up 2 or 3 times a night, that is so stressful on your body, and your body never gets a chance to repair. I mean, just imagine that. Imagine if you were constantly running a car all day and you never turned it off. I mean, it would be a constant machine that's running. It's going to break down eventually. So your body's the same way. If you think about when you were younger, you would stay out later maybe, and even, I mean, you would cram before exams and stuff in school, maybe get 2 or 3 hours of sleep, survive on coffee. That's kind of what we do now, right? Survive on coffee. Well, if you don't get your 7 or 8 hours of sleep, you do not give your body a chance to heal. So you're working backwards. And if you really want the growth hormone, which is needed as you get older to supply the younger looking skin, to make you look younger, you have to get that sleep. So sleep has to be a priority in your life. So, okay, number 5. Okay, this is the one that you may have trouble with more so than anything else. So it's cut the sugar. So bye-bye chocolates, cakes, bye-bye ice cream. I mean, even a lot of processed food has sugar in it, right? So we got to cut all of that. Anything that has these 50, 60 grams of sugar. I mean, remember my other videos when I talked about how much sugar the average person eats in a year? It's horrible on your system, and then people end up as diabetics, and all of that sugar goes into your bloodstream and causes so many issues in your life. So you have to cut the sugar. So no sugar. I have not had dessert since January 20th of this year. So I'm not weird. I know that sounds awful, but I'm getting ready to tell you some really good things, and there are other recipes and things that you can have that don't mess with your blood sugar. And there is a type of sugar I'll talk about in another video that doesn't spike your insulin. Isn't that nice? So technically you can't have sweets, but as far as those commercial sweets that you can get in the grocery store, skip the aisle. Skip the cookie aisle, the ice cream aisle. Skip it. Don't eat it. Take it out, because your body will thank you for it. I promise. Okay? Okay, number 6. You need to eat food based upon nutrients that your body needs. So we're talking vegetables in this aspect, so we're going to start talking about that. And then I've got a couple more things that your body actually is going to crave. So there's a lot of people that walk around with vitamin deficiencies. You can tell this by skin conditions, especially the way the eyes look. I can look at a person now and tell what they're deficient in. They can tell me symptoms, and I can tell them what's going on in their body based upon the deficiencies that they have. So you need to eat your vegetables, and like I said, as we go on, I'm going to kind of do more videos on these, but you're looking at your asparagus, your zucchini, your mushrooms, your lettuces, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you'll see me in the grocery store a lot where I'm Googling nutrition facts on different kind of vegetables just to make sure, because there are some that are too high in sugar, too high in carbs. A couple of them I can name them. Corn, let me go ahead and start there. Guys, corn is not a vegetable, okay? It's a starch. Look at the Google the carb content, okay? Carrots, Google the carb content. Green peas, Google the carb content. Remember I said just because it's healthy for you doesn't mean it's healthy for you. So if you have an insulin issue, you can't have those, okay? We've got to get the insulin down. No more, because insulin is what stores fat. So if you have high insulin, or you have food that spikes insulin, you're just going to store fat. So we're trying to get away from that. We're trying to stop the body from doing that, because we want the body to go into those cells and get that fat, that energy out, and use it. So you got to make sure and eat based upon nutrients that you need, which really is your vegetables. So be very, very, very mindful of that when you go shopping now. So you're looking at your Whole Foods section. So I spend a lot of time in the grocery aisle where all the vegetables are. I'm picking and pulling and putting them in the bag. So that's where you'll see me. All right. So that's number 6. Eat based upon the nutrients that your body needs. Okay, and going along on that same point with your nutrients, number 8, don't be afraid of protein, guys. Don't be afraid of protein. You need to have protein. You need to have your chicken and your salmon and your meat, your beef, your hamburger. Don't be afraid to eat, okay? I don't count calories. I don't count calories. The only thing I count on this, and the only thing that I watch, are my carbs and my sugar. So if I'm keeping them below 20, I mean, I don't worry about if I have a big, huge hamburger, okay? All right, with cheese on it, you know? So, it's so good. I mean, today I had a very large hamburger with bacon and cheese. Yeah, it was really, really good. So, don't be afraid of your protein. A lot of people, oh, you can't have protein. You can't have this. You just have to have a salad with you know, some little, maybe a little ounce of cheese. No, come on. I'm telling you, I've done this program, and my body is healthier, and it's thanking me for it. So I have another before and after picture. I can't wait to do Wednesday weigh-in, actually, so that'll be coming up this week. But don't be afraid to eat your protein. So make sure and get your protein in, okay? So with each meal, you need to have a protein with it. Eggs are wonderful for you. I'm going to actually do a video just about eggs themselves and the health benefits of them, but they are wonderful for you. And little tip, the yolk is actually better for you than the whites. So we'll get into that too, okay? But make sure and eat your eggs, your bacon, your hamburger meat, your steaks. Oh, one of my favorite things. Have steak. I didn't used to like steak. Love steak. Guys, meat, and especially your red meat, is loaded with B vitamins. You have to have your B vitamins. You have to eat those B vitamins. So make sure and eat that. And on the other end, I'm going to go ahead and do this too, because this is very important. You have to have your fats. So whenever I eat meat, I actually eat, I think is it 85-15, or sometimes I think I've actually seen a 75-20 on my red meat. That's the ones that I get. I get the fatty meat, not the low fat meat, because your brain needs fat. Remember, your brain is made up of fat. It needs fat to function. So it's kind of, I mean, I'm not even going to say it's a huge coincidence that when those diets started on the low fat diets, that the Alzheimer's and the dementia started kicking in, because your brain needs the fat. So eat the fat. Don't be afraid of the fat. And the good healthy fats, your avocados, your olive oil, your olives, your coconut oil. I mean, guys, listen, when I cook my vegetables, I use at least 2 tablespoons of butter. Not margarine, not the fake stuff, not those vegetable oils, butter, the real butter. So, I mean, my food is swimming in butter and bacon grease. It's really good. So, I mean, I wanted to give you a positive, because I'm sure you guys were like, oh no, she's taking away all my good foods. But when you can have a really fatty burger, and you can have butter, like, I mean, I make that garlic butter that goes on your steak and put a big old thing on the, I'll have to take a picture sometime, but it's really, really good. I would much rather have that than pasta any day. My body craves it. It needs it now. And now that I'm getting those nutrients in, it's so good. And here's the other little tidbit about this. When you eat the right way and you eat for the nutrients, you're not going to have that, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I got to take a nap, unbutton my pants. You're not going to feel that way anymore. Because after you eat, you're going to be energized, and you're going to want to get out and do stuff, because your body knows it's getting those nutrients in. So now you're going to be, I mean, you're going to be able to go outside and run. I'm never tired anymore during the day. After I eat, I'm not tired. The carbs and the sugar makes you tired and sluggish and sleepy. But the real food, this good food, the food that your body needs and craves, and it's the building blocks of your body, I mean, you're going to be more energized, because that's the whole point of eating, right? Is to provide energy, not to provide just something in your stomach and something that you enjoy. Because, remember what I said before, we don't get that from food. We get that from a relationship with our Heavenly Father. So we're gonna learn more about that too. But make sure and eat your protein and your healthy fats, okay? And I don't measure, remember? No measuring. Okay, number 9, fasting. There are so many benefits to fasting. I'm gonna have to cover in a different video, but I'm just letting you know the top 10 that I did, so you can follow the same regimen that I had. But fasting, and we're going to talk about a daily fast. So what you are going to strive to do, or what I started out doing, is fasting daily. So I actually go 20 hours from day to day, anywhere between 19 and 20 before I eat something. So that's going to look something like, I'm going to eat lunch, or you're going to, well, lunch and dinner around, you finish dinner around 6:30, and then you don't eat again until lunchtime the next day. So a few things about fasting that you guys probably don't know, and I've got tons of scripture on this because it's scripturally sound and it helps you physically. So remember I talked about the guy who won the Nobel Prize 2016 because of his discovery on fasting and the benefits after you reach 24 hours. Some of that kicks in around the 20-hour mark. So your body does this cleaning process where it cleans up all the junk, which is what we have to do, especially if you have a ton of health issues like I had. Your body goes in and actually cleans it out. It's God's design of your body. So if you can utilize this, it's like a health cleaning that you get every single day on your body. And that is what spikes that growth hormone. So, you know, when people reach certain ages, they start looking older because they've been eating constantly, they've got their high sugar, they've got their insulin that's spiked all the time, and it just wears and tears on the body because it produces those toxins when you're eating sugar and carbs. So fasting helps to get rid of that. It's like a natural cleaning system. So if you want to look younger, if you want to look youthful, if you want to help your sleep apnea, your blood pressure, God does that through the fasting process too. So it's not just all food, but it is also through the fasting process. So what you want to do is you want to try and work your way up, and we'll talk about this too, to a fasting regimen. So, and that's a daily thing. So most of the time you're going to look at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So here's how we'll start easy for you. After you finish dinner, you want to try and finish dinner by 6:30. Don't eat again until breakfast. Don't eat at night. Don't munch at night. I mean, it's so easy for us to sit down in front of the TV and start eating or drinking soda. Don't do it. You have to abstain from that. Don't do it, because it's just going to hurt you in the process. And then generally that's what keeps you up at night too. And if you're drinking something, of course you're going to wake up because you have to go to the bathroom, but you're going to wake up really hot and sweaty the next morning, and you might even have those heart palpitations. You might have some of that at night where you feel like you wake up and you just are in a boiler room. So this will help that if you just don't eat. So we're going to start slow on that. So do your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but just do not eat after dinner. And no snacking, guys. Don't snack. Don't snack. You want to have those periods in between your meals where you're not eating anything, so your insulin can lower, so it's not spiked all the time. I mean, we just love to put things in our mouth, but don't do that. So no snacking and no eating after dinner. So just do your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner right now. Okay? All right. So it's number 9. Number 9. We're going to start fasting. Okay, number 10, very last one, you want to make sure and get your electrolytes in, and this is mainly based upon the nutrition thing. You have to have your potassium, your sodium, your magnesium. There are a ton of people that walk around with headaches that are usually caused by 2 things, either gallbladder, but the other thing is your electrolytes, okay? If you're getting dizzy during this or getting muscle cramps, you need electrolytes, okay? So you need to make sure and use your sea salt or your pink Himalayan salt liberally, okay? So don't forget that, because you're going to end up with really bad headaches if you do. Magnesium is another thing, so you can actually get magnesium. I've got a couple places, so if you just want to send me an email, I've got some places to get the good kind of magnesium that's actually going to work, so you don't have that irritable feeling, because when you start cutting the carbs and the sugar, it's almost like your body gets really angry with you, because it craves it too. It's addicted to it too right now, because that's what it uses for energy. So you need your sodium, so your good salt, your magnesium, and the potassium. Here's the cool thing about potassium. When you're eating all of those green veggies, and I would have a salad every day for a meal, that's where your potassium kicks in. So if you're looking at like a spinach or just a green salad, you guys, you've got to have at least I think it's a little over 5,000 milligrams of potassium a day. So you're talking about a really large salad. Eat it, because you need it. Your body needs it, and especially if we're going to be pushing these toxins out to help heal your body, you got to get all those electrolytes in. Okay, very, very, very important. I promise you'll thank me later. And you're probably thinking, oh, I can't eat that salt. My doctor told me that I had to do a low salt diet. How's that working for you? Do you have headaches? Do you have muscle cramps? I mean, how's that going for you? I'm telling you, another thing your body needs, you have to have those electrolytes to function. So, I mean, there's tons of times, and you can laugh at me for this too, but if you're really feeling bad, like even if you feel nauseated, headaches, cramps, whatever, I drink pickle juice. So I know that sounds weird, but pickle juice has the right kind of sodium in it, and it cures it pretty quickly. So I have pickle juice, and a lot of times I'll put pickle juice on my salads. So I know, kind of crazy, but it helps to curb all that, and I don't have any issues otherwise, because I'm not missing any of that. So your processed foods now, they throw a bunch of that bad salt in, table salt, which actually has a chemical in it. And if you look at table salt, there's a lot that have a chemical in it that's actually arsenic. So you need your sea salt and your pink salt. So that's a good kind of salt to have. So just make sure, I mean, I even salt my salad sometimes. So make sure and take your electrolytes, okay? Okay, I'm gonna do a bonus tip because I'm sure you're thinking, oh my goodness, I can't do this, but you can. If I can do it, you can do it, which is why I'm here to help you. You guys are here to help my journey because I'm still continuing in this, but I'm here to help you because your life could be radically changed within 5 or 6 months, like mine. I mean, you will notice a change within 2 weeks if you follow this. I promise you. You're going to have more energy. I mean, I've got cases of people coming in who don't have the issues with arthritis. I've got people who within 2 weeks have lost weight. I mean, there's a lot of really cool things that are happening pretty quickly. So God wants to heal your body. He really does, especially if He has a plan for your life, because we don't know where He's going to lead us and what He's going to do. So my bonus tip, of course, is no cheating, guys. You can't cheat on this. You can't do this and also have periods or days where you want to have something else, because there's 2 things that are going to happen. If you cheat, number 1, it can set you back anywhere from 3 to 5 days on your body's system. So it's almost like you have to do a complete reset. And then number 2, when you mix those good fats like I was talking about with sugar or carbs, it's gonna hurt your heart because you're pumping both kinds of energy into it. So now it's working in overdrive. So you're actually gonna feel worse. There's gonna be some things that are gonna happen if you do that. So and on the other hand, it's gonna stall a lot of your progress. So you can't cheat. You can't. I will go ahead and admit I've had one cheat the entire time I've been doing this. And I don't think it was a real cheat. I had made some eggplant parmesan, and I was still a little new to all this and trying to figure things out. And I learned, and I'll be honest with you, I'm still not sure, but I heard that eggplant has a lot of carbs in it, more so, if you eat the entire eggplant, well, the eggplant parmesan was really good that I made, so I ate the entire thing. I ate some for lunch and some for dinner. I think the jury's still out on exactly how many carbs I had, but that's basically the only. So I wasted my cheat on eggplant, but whatever. I mean, it was good. It was good. I gotta say it was good, but that's really the only cheat I've had. So it wasn't a cheat where I combined, fats and a huge amount of carbs and stuff. It was veggie carbs, but we'll see. But anyway, it didn't seem to mess me up in any way. But guys, I just want to tell you, I am so thankful for each and every one of you. Please, please, please have your family and friends subscribe. I have a ton of views on the video, but I know that there's still people that haven't subscribed because I can tell. But if I can get to 100, I want to do some really, really fun stuff. I've got some cool things I want to introduce to you guys. So I can't wait for you guys to see my next video. I'll give you here. This is my new waist. I mean, I'll try it. You see, here's the problem. Like I said before, I have so many things I want to share with you, and there is a difference. But I don't have a ton of before pictures that just show my face or my body because I was so ashamed of it. But I was more ashamed that I couldn't keep up with my kids, and I felt like I couldn't have any fun, and I just felt sick all the time. But I'm really, really glad to be sharing with you the healing that God has done from the inside out. I'm happy to share. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I'm learning. I can tell you that I read tons of textbooks. I read opposing sides, people who agree. I read everything now. So I'm going through probably a book every 3 days, trying to learn new things. And with the case studies, now I'm able to work with people to see what works best whenever things come up and arise. So I've had a lot of people ask me about the case studies. That program is going to be reformatted in the fall, and I'm going to call it Health Track. So things are going to change a little bit with the way that it works. I don't have any more case study spots open, but if you are interested in doing something like that in the future, I'm happy to send you the form for you to fill out, and I can put you on the wait list and give you more information for how Health Track is actually going to work moving forward. So anyway, like I said, please like this video, subscribe, share, because this top 10 will get you started. I'm sure you still have a ton of questions. If you do, post them below. Please post them below. Drop me an email, truebodiesbybeth@gmail.com. Be sure and follow my Instagram. And then I can, if you have questions, I can answer them on the next videos, because I've got a ton that I could do now. So anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I will see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.